to you and welcome to this live broadcast from London as our red bus is parked just outside of the O2 Arena. It's just a short trip that we are here in London as we make our way onto the home of the game in Rugby and then on to Birmingham where the Springboks will play Samoa in their second Pool B match of the Rugby World Cup come Saturday afternoon. There's no fixtures, however, later today, but let's take a look at the action that will be awaiting tomorrow. Many teams are getting their World Cup campaigns still underway. Amongst them, Scotland, they're in our group and also touted to go through to the quarterfinals. They go up against the Brave Blossoms of Japan, who certainly lived up to their name this past weekend. So Scotland will get their first run, as will Australia, who are in the pool of death. They go up against Fiji. Fiji went down to the hosts England in their very first encounter. Fiji back row forward Domenico Wakambaruto was cited for a dangerous tip tackle, so he's been banned for a week. He will play no part in that clash with Australia. Then the final matchup tomorrow will see France go up against Romania. Those are some of the fixtures to look forward to at the Rugby World Cup taking place tomorrow as the action resumes here in the UK. So what's happening in the Springbok camp? Well, we've had our camp correspondent Simon Burke following the team. He's in Birmingham and the team got their week off to a very good start. They were at the Birmingham University and there were blue skies that they were training under. So let's get the latest from the Springbok camp with our TCC.
Birmingham is not your traditional rugby city. It has, however, gone big for this Rugby World Cup. But they catch the Springboks at their lowest ebb. The team is still coming to terms with what happened on Saturday.
We've got three tough games ahead of us. I don't think we can underestimate any team in the World Cup. I don't think we ever did. Saturday's loss was very disappointing. Lesson learned in every rugby game that you do play. Big lessons learned in that game. But there's a massive task ahead of us.
Most of us have been through adversity, so yeah, I think it's really going to be a test of character this week, and that character is going to have to be shown on Saturday in that 80 minutes of rugby. So I think for us it's just making sure that we are best prepared and ready to play.
And on the injury front, Willem Albert sat out of training. However, Dwayne Vermeulen was there and getting stuck in. I'm Simon Burke, bringing you the latest from the Springbok camp. And yes, that's an owl behind me.
With a rest day yesterday as well as today, looking ahead to tomorrow's Rugby World Cup fixtures, there's been a lot of time to not only preview the upcoming games, but also to just digest those 40 tries that happened over the weekend. So I wonder what the men that know the most about the game actually have to say. Well, we caught up with three legends, Mornay du Plessis, Hugo Porter, as well as Sean Fitzpatrick, to get their views on what happened over the weekend.
Hugo Porter, you've been loved in South Africa from Argentina, a true legend.
Well, thank you. I have very good friends in South Africa and your country is very close to my heart. So I'm always happy of, being talking to South African media.
You've been a great kicker in your life. And do you think this World Cup will be one of those where the kicking will win a team a World Cup?
It has been very influential in the last 2 or 3 World Cups. So it's very important to have a good kicker in the team because you can win the game and decide situations.
It changes every day. I said Hugo and I were asked the question the other day, what did we wish to see out of this World Cup?
Yes.
And he wished to see, which I echo, that rugby continues to send the message of fierce competition, but still loyal union. That the world can live together, although we compete against each other. And it's not just about the commercial aspects of rugby, and it's become a big commercial business, but still those values that we're trying to teach these kids must still come out of it. And then I said something which might come back to bite me. I said I wish that there are more contenders for the actual cup than just the normal 3 or 4 contenders, and you must be careful for what you wish for, they say, and you've got Japan, you've got Argentina, you got Ireland playing, so but still we've got to be realistic. I really think we are best. I've seen it before that we're good in the dark days. We have to take the dark days. It's a pity it takes that to get us to go. predict we'll do well against Samoa.
28 years since the first tournament in New Zealand. Opening game, Rugby World Cup 1987, we played Italy, the All Blacks played Italy in front of 16,000 people, a quarter full stadium at Eden Park in New Zealand, and on Friday night we had 82,000 people at the opening ceremony. Just phenomenal. It was just a special night to be part of, but I thought the All Blacks were very composed. The defending champions want to go back to back, never been done before, and I thought they, especially their last 20 minutes, they showed the power and the pressure they've been putting on the Argentines really told, and the bench was phenomenal.
We're broadcasting live from London, just outside of the O2 Arena, and what a magnificent venue it actually is. It's famous for being this music and entertainment destination, but it's also been the home to the ATP World Tour Finals since 2009, and that's just one of a number of sporting events that it's actually hosted. But what's most impressive about this magnificent venue is actually the roof. They've got 68 projectors that are actually shining up onto the roof. The 68 projectors themselves come from 6 different countries, and there's 144 lights that also help to light it up, and it's visible from space. We found a little bit more about this impressive venue.
So I am standing on top of the O2, and we are unveiling the world's largest projection ever. This is a world record. There are various colours and shapes forming on top of the O2 alongside myself performing the wonderful piece of music, Jerusalem. I am England's official anthem singer, and as part of that amazing job I get to perform Jerusalem to thousands of Twickenham fans. I feel incredibly proud when I perform it, and there's something about the words that are just so beautiful. I know when I stand and perform, the fans give me that extra 10% that I need, especially if there are nerves, obviously, before I sing. And I imagine for the rugby players, for the boys, it's the same feeling.
We have been getting behind the England rugby team. We want to get the nation behind the England rugby team. So our whole campaign is about wear the rose and support England.
The fans can show their support by tweeting wear the rose, and their messages could be shown out here on top of the O2 in this amazing projection. We're at a point now where the training's done, the decisions have been made. I think now it's time just to get behind the team and watch them do their very best, and I have no doubt and absolute faith in them as a team that they will do incredibly well.
So it certainly is a magnificent venue, and it's quite appropriate that here in London we should be an hour behind South Africa, because it's still nice and dark, so we get to see all the lights on that O2 Arena looking magnificent. Early on we heard those 3 rugby legends saying that it's far too early, just after one weekend of Rugby World Cup action, to be writing any of the favourites off, because some of them may have had a little bit of a stuttering start, but they will be back. So what were the legends doing? Well, they were getting out and about, sharing the love of rugby. And it was with the Laureus Sport for Good Foundation. And what the Laureus Foundation actually does, they use sport as a tool for positive change, and it's all on the basis of what Nelson Mandela had to say about the power of sport, that it has the power to change the world. And this is the reason why the Laureus Sport for Good Foundation actually exists and does the work that it does. So our legends were out, and they were sharing the love of the game and hoping to inspire a couple more youngsters here in England.
Privileged to be part of the Laureus Sport for Good Foundation, 15 years now. Hugo, my great friend Hugo Porter, Sean Fitzpatrick, we're the rugby representatives and the world body, and we've travelled the world, and we've seen everywhere, every corner, from India to East Berlin to China to here, and obviously in our country we've seen how important sport is. Sport is not going to put food on the table, it's not going to put a roof over your head, it's not going to change the health of sick people, but it does put a smile on the face of a kid, and maybe even that's enough. But we obviously think it's more powerful than that.
Are you guys happy to be here?
Yeah, definitely.
What did you guys do here today?
Well, we did some kicking, tackling, and scrummage work. Yeah.
I like tackling because.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I like being tackled more than tackling people because I like rough.
So what position are you playing?
Wing. Yeah.
Are you that fast?
Yeah, because I like both positions. So I actually play here. This is my club that I play at, and there's an all-girls team. So I mainly play. Well, I got best back last year, but I don't really play back. So I like wing because there's lots of running around.
It's been fantastic to see the legends here and be specific about skill sets that we can teach the children. So having a great kicker and a great scrummager and a great tackler means that we can really make those kind of components of the game come alive for the kids. It's about building character for me. The game is important, but building kids' character and making them understand good behaviour and focus and attainment at school is more important really than the rugby. But as you build the character, the rugby comes on and they get a bit of everything.
It's a mission that we have. I mean, President Mandela said to us that, sport have the power to change the world, and that we have a big responsibility because we can reach the kids in a very special way. And it's always good to give back, especially being here with Monet, Sean Fitzpatrick, and some other fellow academy members from Laureus. It's always good to do it.
We're very fortunate we had rugby, changed our lives, and we were lucky we took the opportunity, and that's what we're sort of saying to these kids. Sport is a great catalyst for your life, and we're giving them an opportunity. I've been in Soweto at our rugby projects there, and to see the difference it's made to their lives is really cool. And we've been going 15 years now, and over 150 projects globally, and it's good fun.
Give me 5. We're gonna have fun, eh? Don't be scared. You guys are gonna be on TV. You guys have always wanted to be on TV. I know this, eh? 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Rugby World Cup! So if you've been watching Morning Live for the past couple of days, you'll know that we've been travelling in our red bus, and we are going to be travelling in our red bus across England. The first place that we stopped was the English south coast town of Brighton, and then we've made just a short trip up to London. Here we are behind the O2 Arena, but then we go on to the home of rugby. So we just made a short trip, but we decided to show you exactly how we got to London.
Follow me.
Bye, Brighton. After a short 1.5 hour bus ride, the SABC Rugby World Cup 2015 crew arrived in a wet and a cold London. It may be London how many expect it, but it was a sight Londoners are not used to. Within 2 hours, our route master, now parked outside the O2 Arena, was set up, ready to broadcast this morning. Because South Africa is broadcasting like you've never seen it before. And the team is on the move once again. After this broadcast, I'm actually going to pack up our bus and we're going to move on through to rugby. So do join us for tomorrow morning's broadcast, and we'll also be bringing you an exclusive interview with a man who won the Currie Cup with the Sharks. He also had a number of age group levels, captained the South African national team, the SA schools team when he was still playing as a youngster. He's now the captain of Saracens and led them to the Aviva Premiership title this past season. And just 3 weeks' time, they're actually going to get the English Premiership underway and the defence of their title. His name is Alistair Hargreaves. We got the opportunity to go into his house with him and his lovely wife Carmen, who is 8 months pregnant. She's pregnant with their very first son. So we'll bring you that exclusive interview right here on our Rugby World Cup special, which airs every single morning here on Morning Live. Until then, when we'll meet again from rugby, goodbye.